Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my spoiler talk for Castlevania Lords of Shadow, more or less the entire series rather than just one specific game. So firstly, I want to address, Gabriel Belmont becomes Dracula, and I don't mind that. I actually like that the first game tells the story of how he becomes Dracula, and while in a lot of ways, Mirror of Fate and Lords of Shadow 2 are superior titles, from a story standpoint, there are things that I don't like. So let's just start with Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1. I don't need my villains, like Dracula, to have a backstory necessarily. I also don't necessarily need them to have a tragic backstory, how they became that way exactly. While I don't mind it, and I do actually think Castlevania Lords of Shadow, from a story standpoint, does a decent job telling that, it's just not necessary. But the one thing I really don't need, is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2's story. From a gameplay standpoint, far superior game. Far superior. But it's a redemption arc for Dracula. And I didn't need that. It's the reason why in my review I said I was going to call him Gabriel and not Dracula. Because Lords of Shadow 2 is him as a vampire fighting Satan, not so that he can be the only true darkness or anything like that, but because deep down he's still a good person. I'm sorry, but no, I don't need that from my villains. If he was pursuing it for selfish motives, I could get behind that for his character. If he was like, no, I've been asleep this long, I want to be the darkness, I want to take down Satan for me, I would have gotten behind that. Had he come up with the plan of going to sleep so that Satan would be like, now's my time to rise, wah! That was a horrible evil laugh, but point being, had he come up with that plan, had he decided to do that so he could destroy Satan and become the true evil, that I could have gotten behind. I wasn't in love with him having a redemption arc because it just felt unnecessary. Because Dracula is a bad guy. I want him to be a bad guy. And I think they really missed out on some things because they could have done some cool stuff with Alucard instead of having him be Trevor Belmont. Because as the story goes, Trevor Belmont went to fight Dracula, lost, died. Dracula was like, no, and gave him blood and made him a vampire. Whereas real Alucard history tells us that Dracula fell in love with a human, had a son, Alucard was said son. And when Dracula turned into a full dick, Alucard was like, nah, I'm gonna stop you, and got put to sleep. So I do think they could have actually done something legitimately cool in Mirror of Fate with Alucard and Trevor as separate characters. Have Trevor come to the castle to try and stop Dracula because he's being evil. Have Alucard trying to stop Dracula because he's being evil. Have the two of them team up. Have Dracula kill Trevor. Have Alucard be like, hey, you just killed my stepbrother. You're also being an evil dick. I swear hatred upon you forever. I just think that would have been a cooler story rather than what they do with Gabriel, with what they do with Trevor and Alucard being the same character. Any of those ideas, quite frankly, would have been better for the story. I get that it's a different retelling, I get that they were trying to make a 3D Castlevania, but from a gameplay standpoint, two of the games work, one of them doesn't. From a story standpoint, one of them works, two of them don't work as well as they should. So that's just my spoiler talk, just my thoughts on it. Why don't you let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.